How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we're talking about a crypto company, a crypto project in a way that is down 75% here today, down 99 or almost 99% from its high. And this is a large company, really the market leader, and it will affect Bitcoin and it will affect cryptocurrency. Now, I also want to talk towards the end of the video about another stock that is down massively here today, but we'll get to that towards the end of the video just for a short period of time. And I do want to say I'm not going to cut anything in this video. I've already had some technical difficulties with my computer here today, so we're just going to go all the way through. This is my third time recording this, unfortunately, but I'm excited to talk to you about it here today. Now, there is a link to the video, or there's a link to moomoo underneath the video where you can get up to 15 free stocks when you start depositing. Definitely check that out, and it does help out the channel a lot when you sign up and start practicing your trading, or when you start buying stocks on their platform. Also, a link to M1 Finance in case you want to try that underneath the video. They also just unveiled that they have some new cryptos that they are offering on their platform, so you can check out that link underneath the video as well. M1 Finance is actually the place where I had the most of my money in stocks, so definitely check that out underneath the video. Open an account there as well. Now, crypto is looking pretty good on the 1 week. It's pretty much sideways, just a little bit down on the 24-hour, but overall, it is looking pretty good with us right against that $1 trillion mark. Now, with that being said, there's still a company that's down significantly here today, and a few days ago, I made this video. This may be the final crypto capitulation event. Miners are failing. And what we talked about there was basically that we had heard like whispers and rumblings of companies going bankrupt before they actually went bankrupt in real life, or before they came out. We heard those rumors on Twitter. And there were starting to be some rumors around big name Bitcoin miners. Now, Dylan LeClaire did not say what the company was, but today we know. And it basically was because of the fact that mining difficulty was at all-time highs. So these miners were getting less Bitcoin for mining. Their Bitcoin and ASICs value were going down pretty significantly. The cost to finance debt is so high right now, with the Fed continuing to raise rates, and energy prices continue to spike in most of the world. So miners are spending more and they're getting less. And this is causing a lot of these miners that maybe over-leveraged themselves or grew too quickly to be really hurting. Now, today we got news that Core Scientific might not be able to pay back their debts, and they're down 76% here today. Now, they went public just about a year ago, just over a year ago, and from their peak, they're down 99% or 98.3%. Now, they're in about a $90 million market cap. Last time that I checked, it was $88 million. So at their peak, they were about a $4.5 billion company. Now, why is this happening? Well, they just announced recently, actually yesterday, that they're not going to be able to pay their debts in October or November. They're looking to explore their alternatives besides just going bankrupt. They're exploring alternatives to their capital structure and is working with financial and legal advisors, but noted that they may have to file for bankruptcy. And at this point, this would really hurt every single common stockholder. They would lose their investments completely. Now, they say part of this is due to the fact that Celsius is still not paying them. So apparently they owe them $1.6 million to host Celsius mining operation. Now, I don't know if that's every single month, but that doesn't seem like the entire story. They also noted that they've been hurt recently because of the fact that miners' values have been going down. The hash rate continues to go up, and the fact that they have higher and higher costs for mining. They said that recently, but they barely have any Bitcoin left. So in September, they had 1,000 Bitcoin and 29.5 million in cash. I saw a report from back in June, and I believe they had 2,000 Bitcoin and about 100 million in cash. And now they have 24 Bitcoin and 26.6 million in cash. So just over the last month, they've burned about 25 million. Over the last 4 months, they've burned 100 plus million, like $120 million or so. And this is just completely bankrupting them. Now, we had heard news that they were cutting their staff about 2 months ago, but this is obviously a huge huge negative statement coming from them just yesterday that they're most likely going to go bankrupt or that they could go bankrupt. Now, how does this affect crypto? Let's think about this for a second. So typically, when a miner would go bankrupt, that'd be really terrible news. However, I think there are some benefits to it. So first of all, for any miners, the hash rate is going to go down. So that's positive because they're just going to make more money. So they're going to get more Bitcoin for their mining. Also, they might be able to buy some of their assets that are distressed assets or these discounted assets like these miners for a discounted price. That's going to be really good for them as well because they can continue to grow their hash rate without having to pay top dollar. Now, hash rate is already pretty inexpensive right now to add on to. Like the miners in general just are a lot less expensive than they were a year ago. But this is another benefit. Also, just in terms of Bitcoin itself, they did not hold much Bitcoin, or they don't hold much Bitcoin now. They have 24 Bitcoin. So they've been selling, 1,000 Bitcoin over the last month. You're going to have one less seller of 1,000 Bitcoin, like 20 million. And they only have 24 Bitcoin left. So they're not going to really have much selling pressure, even if they do go bankrupt and are forced to sell. So overall, I don't think this will really hurt Bitcoin too much. There are definitely going to be some articles that come out saying that hash rate's down 10% or something if they do go bankrupt and have to take their miners offline. But overall, I'm not sure this is the worst thing unless you're a stockholder. Now, speaking of stockholders that have been feeling some pain, let's look at Facebook. They're down 24% here today after a horrible earnings yesterday. So what they announced was they have very little free cash flow, and this is after it's been decreasing over the last year from 12 billion in Q4 last year to just 320 million this last quarter. The revenue's down on the year. They have some share buybacks for sure. They've been buying back shares, but they did this by increasing debt by $9 billion. And they grew headcount 28% in the last year. They spent billions this last quarter. I believe it was $4 billion, if I'm right, on Reality Labs, which is still a long shot. And they brought in like 320 million or 200 something million. So they're losing $3+ billion this quarter on Reality Labs. And they're going to spend more on it next year. That's what they said. So this is obviously just horrible news for shareholders in Meta. And this is after they've been beaten down. Now, I will say there's a silver lining. They still have a lot of monthly active users and daily active users. And advertisers are paying less for ads right now. So they're actually pushing out more ads to people, but they're making less per ad. So if the recession kind of gets over and advertisers are willing to spend more on Facebook, and Facebook also pulls back on the metaverse spending, because honestly, I don't know how they're spending all this money. I don't see really much progress. If they're able to do that, they would be highly profitable again. And some investors might be looking to get in on them, because if they can produce, let's say, $12 billion worth of cash flow every single quarter, or even just $30 billion throughout the year, right? That would be a 10 price to free cash flow, or actually like a 9 right now. So that would be really cheap. Now, that's assuming they can get back to having a lot of cash flow coming in. Now, let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. I am not buying Meta today because their report, even though they're cheap right now, if you think they're going to get back to high profitability, the report did not make me feel confident that they know what they're doing. And I'm definitely not touching Core Scientific, but I don't think that will hurt Bitcoin too much. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.